Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to play a FNAF fan game called Daybreak. Or FNAF Daybreak. Let's begin. Enter your name. YN. Because I'm being lazy. Your name's YN? Yes, totally. Night 1. It feels like a lifetime ago. Since that day. In reality, only a few months have passed since it happened. I still find it hard to believe myself. What was supposed to just be the 6th day of my job at a glorified mall because I desperately needed some form of income. A mall where most of my coworkers are robots. Then again, they tend to be more pleasant to be around than people anyway. Depends on the person, usually. Especially one. Or I guess two. There are two minds piling one body, technically. Two individual minds piloting a singular bot made in the image of the sun and the moon. Tasked with the sole purpose of looking after the smallest of the children that aren't quite ready for the rest of the sprawling, bright, very loud and overstimulating mall. I met them as I was still getting used to my work schedule and new environment, and I like to think we've become good friends since then. Definitely better friends than most of my human coworkers. Not that I talk to them that much. Not for the lack of trying. My schedule, along with how huge this place is, means I can go the entire night, only seeing one or two people at most. Yeah, because we see mostly the robots. By the way, not having to interact with people means less stress for me. People are unpredictable in the best of times. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure our robot friends are unpredictable too. You don't always know what they're after. Well, I like the animation. You know, sometimes I wonder if it was all some kind of weird dream. Something my subconscious crafted up to fill the sleep-deprived haze my memory. The time I was almost murdered by a stranger in a rabbit costume of all things. Almost dragged into some dark back room, which might have been my final resting place if I had been just slightly more unlucky. I just happened to be lucky since enough to be just barely rescued by Moon, who I had met that night. I hardly told anyone about what happened. The incident has, for the most part, stayed between me, my attacker, and the bot that saved my life. To everyone else, it was probably sound like I finally lost my mind after inhaling too much dust, and that definitely still exists in the paint here. I'm pretty sure dust is not gonna give us hallucinations, though. Or people in Arizona would have so much hallucinations because the dust storms and all that. Not that I would blame anyone for thinking that. I would, and yet I keep going back there. The stupid monetized mall that I almost died in. Time and time again, every night, 5 days a week. Never mind, maybe I'm just crazy. I don't think a sane person would keep working at the place where they almost got stabbed by some costume freak. Unless we wanted to go fight them like their ghost face. I guess I would feel bad if I left. It would be so easy to send in my 2 weeks' notice, or just vanish without a word. Maybe it would be better to risk getting evicted over possibly having someone make an attempt on my life a second time. But I feel like I shouldn't. Not now. After everything that happened, leaving would feel like. Ugh. I stretched my arms above my head, trying to blink the exhaustion out of my eyes while my alarm continues to assault my ears with the piercing tone. Oh, I know that feeling. A brief sigh escapes my lips before I finally turn over and turn off my third alarm. I guess I'm feeling extra sluggish today. I force myself to sit up and go about my routine like normal. I could probably do it in my sleep at this point. If sleep driving wouldn't end up with me in my car in a ditch or flying off the highway. And also dead. Well, of course the car was self-driving. We'll still end up in the dead. Guarantee it. I pull into the parking lot next to the massive building. Those oh so familiar neon lights reflecting off my car. Ooh, nice. I like the background. After finding and backing into the nice parking spot next to the trash cans, I make sure I have the necessities on me: phone, keys, employee ID, wallet, lunch for later. At last, I leave my car and start the walk to the building, making extra sure my car is locked before I start the new week. Even now, I still feel like I see things in the reflection of my windshield every time. There's nothing there, but I can't help but do a double take nevertheless. Never be too careful. This animatronic with a knife. And it's just I tightly grip my keys in my hand like one would a knife. Not that it does much for me anyway. There's nothing there. I head inside. There's Freddy. I sighs and mindlessly make my way into the small machine attached to the wall next to the narrow door, clocking in for the night. Next to the small whiteboard, written on it is my name and the names of my coworkers, none of whom are in the room with me at this moment. The whiteboard just lists our designated break times and any specific task we need to do throughout our shift. As for me, I have 3 of them. First, I have to sort the checkup. I have to sort a sort of checkup with DJ Music Man, since he has some behavior bug that hasn't been looked at in the months. What else is new? Secondly, a new arcade machine has to be restored and hooked up in the Faz arcade. Apparently just had a whole cabinet sitting around and no one knows until now. And lastly, the start of several short maintenance checks for the daycare attendant. Alright, I haven't actually seen Sun and Moon for about 2, maybe 3 weeks now. If I remember correctly, they've been down parts and services. And who's been taking care of the daycare? For 3 weeks. Thankfully not because something's wrong with them. Supposedly they got on some upgrade alongside most of theirs. The maintenance checks are just standard procedure to make sure they're working properly. Nothing major. All the bots get them after going through some sort of change. Think they don't want to have repeat of prior incidents. Would be nice to talk to Sun and Moon again. I generally haven't gone to see them as much since I usually not confined to just one area of the pizza-aplex anymore. I finally leave the break room, decide to go to the daycare attendant maintenance. Check first. It's sort of out of the way since my other 2 tasks are in the arcade. That, and I'll be lying if I said I wasn't at least a bit curious to see any cool visual changes in Sun and Moon. The Grandmox got upgraded about 3 months ago. Probably visual changes to make them more expressive and lifelike. As I'm walking, I receive some of the security staff bots wandering about, dotted amongst the small crowds of remaining people. The pizza plex is going to be closing soon, so that will be expected. Though that does remind me of someone else I haven't seen in a while. Vanessa. I think there might be a reason. I still remember trying to tell her about what happened to me that one night. The night I was attacked. Pretty sure she was the one that attacked us. She and our security staff said they looked into it, but the security cameras apparently picked up nothing. And maybe she's the only one that didn't do it because she did it. Everything from that time period is just gone. Definitely not considering anything. They had some more human security guards present during the next week or so, just in case, but nothing came out of it. At least from what I've heard after the fact. Maybe it was effective. Or maybe whoever attacked me was just waiting for them to give up. I don't have time to worry about the past, though. As awful as it was, I literally can't do anything about it now. Trust me, I'm tired. I tried. I'm assuming whatever forms and such I need will be in the desk. As I stop outside the daycare, I try to get a look inside through the glass, but the lights are out. I decide to just bite the bullet and go inside. I glance at the padded floor that sits just beyond the desk. On it are several little kids, fast asleep between mats and small blankets. I keep quiet for now, so not to disturb them, as I look forward for a little familiar bot. Considering his light and glowing red eyes, he shouldn't be hard to miss, but I don't see him amongst the kids he's supposed to be looking after. Strange. Yep, there he is. He doesn't seem to notice me yet. I'm right busy carrying one more child back to the others. Watch? I decide not to disturb him for now, and simply watch him do the very thing he was made for. Well, he still doesn't even notice me. It's a sweet sight. I still remember his playful, mischievous antics. So it's nice to see he's so quiet and careful with the children he's responsible for. For a moment I think I could hear the faintest sound of his music box, but the thought is interrupted as Moon finally sees me behind a desk. His expression is almost one of surprise, but he does spare me a wave and he stays sat by the kids for another minute or two. During that time, I search around for any maintenance form for me. Found it! I stand up fully, form in hand, and Moon approaches the desk. Nice to see you again. Moon's permanent smile grows ever so slightly as he waves. However, his expression is still a calm one. I guess still not trying to be too excitable. He doesn't wake up the kids. Likewise. Very nice. Nice to finally be. Okay, wait. Likewise. Very, very nice to finally be let out of the basement. You mean parts and services? I see no difference. I chuckle, shaking my head. Nice to see nothing changed. Except his look. That's noticeably different. Nothing too drastic. But clearly something new. So, were the changes they made mainly visual? Well, they wouldn't send you in here just to look at me, would they? Well, we have to flirt. His option. I don't mind. Oh, he liked that. He remembered that. I plant one hand on the desk, my other hand holding the form, as I lean forward slightly. Moon just shakes his head, amused. How flattering. Wait, should I do the voice? I forgot how to. How flattering. How flattering. Sometimes the voice hurts my throat though. I can't but giggle. Tilted my head. I know, I'm great. and easily distracted. Moon pokes my forehead before gesturing to the form in my hand. Focus. Never! I honestly can't tell if it was a genuine push to focus on my job, or if he's just messing with me. Or both. He looks like he's serious, though. I sigh, still wearing a faint smile as I tried to get back on topic. I was told to do some kind of maintenance check, just to make sure whatever they change doesn't backfire or explode everywhere. Like countless other times. Yes, I know. It's not my first time. Moon spares occasional glance back towards the sleeping children, probably just making sure no one's waking them up. We're not waking them up. Aww. Oh, I take a look at the first question as Moon slouches a bit, resting his arms on the back of the desk as we're closer to eye level with each other. He still towers over me, and even then, but an effort was made. What is the standard protocol for when a children's parents or guardian doesn't show up by the designated pickup time? Have staff contact them. If they don't reply, call the emergency contact. If they don't reply there's no reply from them, have staff contact the authorities until the children can be picked up. It's like, do you actually do that? Define the warning system for repeated misbehavior from the children. 1 warning for every 2 incidents. 6 warnings, even a temporary ban. 10 earn a permanent ban. A ban is earned quicker if the misbehavior calls for it. Name an example. Physical violence towards our children or staff. What is the standard protocol for when a parent or guardian doesn't show up with their children at the designated drop-off time? Let staff contact them after 20 minutes. If an hour passes and they don't show up, mark them as a no-show. What do you do if a parent or guardian is behaving aggressively? Contact the authorities? Remain polite. Continue to assist until they leave. Report to staff and let them handle it. And if an unidentified individual is spotted in the pizzaplex after closing, what do you do? Nothing with the water out. Capture, restrain, and call security. Good, I think that's everything. Looks like you did pretty well. So I wouldn't worry too much. And I know there's voices, but I do like to at least speak. I try to do my own and ruin my voice. I think Moon is about to say something, but I spot a few people standing by the door. You got 1 out of 8 blueprints. Wait, blueprints? Oh, can I help you? I'm interrupted by Moon stepping in front of me, straightening up his posture as he looks a bit more professional and less like a gremlin. Sorry about that. Is it pickup time? Yes? His tone is noticeably lighter, too. Still, that has that touch of raspiness that's very much unique to him specifically, but softer. Oh, so Douglas kind of got his voice down. Now that I think about it, it's not long before the daycare closes. It closes about 2 hours before the rest of the pizza complex does, so I guess it shouldn't be surprising that a bunch of parents are showing up now. One of the parents, a clearly exhausted adult woman, speaks first. Yeah, I'm sorry to bother you two. No. Don't apologize. Just wait right here. Moon walks back to the sleeping kids, quietly sitting down next to one of them and gently waking them up. I'm assuming it's the son of the woman that just spoke to him. The one stood by the desk, remains by the desk, yawning and brushing her hair out of her face, as her other arm hangs limp, just barely, not dropping her purse. Try to help. I feel kind of awkward just standing around, so I leave the form on the desk and head over to the two of them, making sure to keep my footsteps light and my voice low. Want me to grab the kids' stuff for you? There's a bunch of little cubbies by the desk for kids to store personal belongings, so I figured I could at least help with that. Moon glances at me, carrying the tired boy in his arms. You don't have to do that, but if you really want to. Moon uses one hand to point towards the cubbies, one arm more than enough to comfortably hold the child as he wakes up fully. Third one on the left, top row. On it. I do as instructed, retrieving a small blue backpack and weighing by the desk alongside the mother. I hand the bag to the mother, who thanked me while Moon helps the kid fully wake up, so he may walk on his own. The boy is still quite tired, but gives Moon a final hug before sluggishly walking to his mom, who quietly grabs his hand. Thank you so much, both of you. A smile makes its way to my face, even though I didn't really do anything. No problem. Anytime. This is what I was made for, after all. The mom lays before leaving her kid leaving with her kid besides her. Not to I had to work with guests occasionally during this and previous job, so it's really nice to have even one person that treats you like a human being rather than a verbal punching bag. You can say that again. Unfortunately, I can't stick around and hang out with robots my entire shift. I still have other things to do. I double check to make sure I'm actually filled out all the questions on the form. My next task is hooking up the new arcade cabinet, so I spare Moon one final wave before I go. He waves back, continuing with his job. At least this won't be the only time I get to actually talk to him. I have to keep doing these maintenance checks for the rest of the week. Walking into the lobby, there are still a good amount of people here. Heck, I can see a good amount of them grouping up close to the entrance. Probably one of Grandma's doing photos or something. One of the Grandma's. I'll say the Pixaplex does actually seem like fun when you actually see how many people come here willingly. Then the robots wander around, the sound of kids running about, and the upbeat 80s music blasting from the speakers does give the place a nice liveliness. Makes this job less soul-draining, kind of. It's still soul-draining. A lot of jobs are. So I give the live at the third floor, this time being greeted by the techno music. I look around the machine I'm supposed to restore, catching a glimpse of someone new. It's easily pleasant surprise, that being the face of this entire establishment, Freddy himself. He seems to be looking for something until his eyes notice me and he visibly brightens up. It's Freddy! Greens, YN. Hey, Freddy. I'm supposed to be fixing up some old arcade cabinets. Any clue where they is? Yes, I figured it'd be in the area by now. I was told to help you find it in case you were having trouble. Here, follow me. I'll only do Moon voice because it hurt my throat. I follow him, smiling just a bit at his ever friendly demeanor. I know all the robots were made to be approachable to some degree, but Freddy's really takes it another level. Once I had to get him out of the freezer that he was left in overnight, and he told me he was sorry for the inconvenience. He's a sweetheart. Because old Freddy could be literally stuffed in a freezer by himself for 12 hours and think he's the one in the way. I guess all the robots have their quirks. Some more than others. From being overly nice, even when stuffed in an icebox, to literally tearing their own room apart like a twister and making it the staff's problem. Definitely not speaking from my own experience with a very particular gator. As we walk, Freddy occasionally waves at guests, mainly small kids that are excited to see Freddy up close. Now they see, not that I can really blame them. Freddy looks pretty cool in his new getup, very 80s inspired to go with the theme of the Pixarplex. He eventually stops walking and gestures to the machine I have to restore. Next to it is a small toolbox along with various cleaning supplies. Okay. Hopefully we don't screw this up. Here you are. And all the stuff I need to actually fix it is here. Thank God. Thank you, by the way. Anytime. Freddy, remember, we're on stage 30. In 30 minutes, I instinctively looked towards the source of the voice along with Freddy. A small crowd of children surrounded 2 more bots. A wolf with high-speed racer get-up. The gator adored with spikes and random tears in his outfit. I don't feel like asking about. Don't worry. I didn't forget. I'm just helping our friend here. That's all. Just reminding you. All of you will be there for the show, right? His tail sways back and forth as she addresses the many kids crowding her, several of them cheering and running around silently. Knew it. You're just always happy, you're just always right, aren't you? Yeah, actually, thanks for noticing. Hello to you too. I spare them a wave, which they return as they go back to entertaining the kids. This is where we part ways for now. Good luck with the machine, by the way. Thanks, I'll probably need it. Frey smiles and waves before I'm leaving to join theirs, leaving me to deal with the beat-up, dusty as heck arcade cabinet. Apparently you just had this thing laying around in some storage room for God knows how long, and only now decided to dig it up and actually do something with it. Is it, Wreck-It Ralph? The covers of the cabinet are faded. They're visibly scratched in some places, and there's a bunch of junk and cobwebs all over it. Gross. Praying I don't find anything dead in the cabinet. That would be bad. Never know. Maybe they should have opened it up before they put it in the arcade, though. First a fix in front of the kids. Maybe not as bad as something living in the cabinet, though. Both sound mildly traumatizing. I don't have the money for therapy right now. I do get started by opening the panel on the back with a screwdriver. My lungs immediately get bombarded by a cloud of dust. Well, I'm having an asthma attack. I have to drop the panel and cover my mouth with my sleeve as a coughing fit takes over. That'll last 20 minutes with me. Do I even want to wonder what the thing was when this thing was last claimed? Probably in the 80s. And what ancient germs I might have picked up. A staff bot stops next to me at one point, head tilted and hand slightly outstretched in what I think is meant to be a concern. I'm fine, thanks. I do manage to stop coughing after a minute. Take a few deep breaths as the bot continues going about its business. I'm fine, I just pulled out energy drink. Maybe I should have asked for a biohazard mask before starting. Oh, I'll still have an asthma attack with it. Sadly. Ooh, minigame. Select each button in the correct order to proceed. It took a while. In fact, I had to stop it and then record. I'm probably gonna have to edit a little bit of that out to begin with, so it'll be slow, a little bit faster. Alright, nothing went wrong yet. Hopefully it stays that way when I actually get this thing plugged in and turned on. Mentally keeping my fingers crossed. There's one empty socket left. One empty outlet left, so I plugged the machine into that. The screen is clearly on, just pitch black. I try waiting a minute, thinking it just needs some time to boot up. Nothing happens though. I try patting the side of the machine, hoping to magically fix it. Maybe it just needs some reassurance. You never know. Nothing, still a dark screen, staring in my face. Sighing, I use an old ancient technique called slamming my fist into the side of the machine. The screen finally lights up as speakers start playing the cheerful 8-bit tune, Balloon World. Huh. Oh, it seems to be working okay. Definitely looks way nicer than when I first saw it. Not to pat myself on the back or anything. That took up a lot of time though, and it's near my break time, so I decided to leave it as is. Actually, now that I think about it, the daycare should be closed by now. Maybe I could pay Sun and Moon in there a visit and eat my lunch there. I had to make a track back to the break room first. When I entered the lobby again, there are still a few people, however, clearly way less than they were when I got here. The break room is still empty when I arrive. That's nothing new. I clock out for my break before going to the whiteboard to erase the break time ran for me. However, I also noticed another name. Apparently Vanessa was supposed to be here. I haven't seen her at all, though. Yeah, because she's too busy. Being her. Yeah. Supposedly she's been out sick for a while, and that's why I haven't seen her in a few weeks. Aren't you sure about that? Hopefully it's nothing serious, considering how long it's been already. A few weeks of being out of the work sounds rough. I snapped myself back to the routing, not wanting to waste my break, lost my own thoughts. I grabbed my food from the small locker offered to me before making my way for the lobby. I make sure I'm not noticeable by guests as I head into the daycare. The light's now on. I hear faint humming from the other side of the room when I walk in. I figured that must be Sun, so I decided to head over. I'm surprised Sun isn't the one doing the daycare. Now that I actually see more of the daycare, it's no wonder these two have to spend the entire night up and about, aside from Moon's hourly patrols around the place. The area by the door is mostly organized, but everywhere else is kind of a wreck. The mats and blankets are scattered over where the kids were previously sleeping. There's glitter paper and other craft supplies everywhere. Small plastic tables and chairs knocked over, and various colorful stains on the ground and structures that I assume is paint. Also, I kind of want to help, but I also have to eat, and I don't think I'll have time for both. I do have time to at least say hi to Sun, though who's currently busy picking up all the drawings and their paper scraps left on the floor. He leaves a pile of them on the desk, humming to himself. Hey, Sun. Sun immediately turns in my direction, smiling brightly as he usually does while he comes over and greets me with a hug. Aww. Run, hello! So nice to have you back. He has leaned down a lot to actually hug me, which I've gotten used to by now. Yeah. I was hoping to say hi to both of you now that you're all upgraded and stuff. Oh, well, thank you. I do hope the new look wasn't worth the wait. It was. Sun does a cute little twirl, paper still in hand as he poses in a typical showman manner. It's cute! I think it's cute. I like the little bow tie with the bell on it especially. Sun's torso starts spinning as he giggles to himself, one hand seemingly covering his face as if embarrassed. I'm glad you think so. Adorable! Again, I can't fight the smile that grows my face, still endearing as ever. I do eventually have to go take a seat at the desk, though. I already feel my body demanding food from me, and I'm not about to go ignore it. If you don't mind, I'm going to eat my lunch over here. Sun spares a wave, already focused on his cleanup duties. Go on. I turn to start walking back, eventually placing my food on the desk. However, I do notice I accidentally left a trail of glittery, paint-filled footsteps behind me on what was once a clean floor. Oops. When did I even step into wet paint? The world may never know. I'll clean up now. I figured I could spare another few minutes cleaning up, right? Thankfully, there's a roll of paper towels and a bottle of disinfectant under the desk, so I'll just use those. It does take longer than I thought, mainly because glitter is annoying to clean up. You can say that again. And the paper towels soak up the paint like nothing. Even after a few minutes, I haven't gotten rid of all of it. Somehow it got on my sleeves, too. Definitely not going to be free from that anytime soon. No, let me do that. You sure I kinda... Sun presses a finger in my mouth, hushing me. Nope, no arguing. Sit back down and let me handle this. Please. I shrug as he pulls his hand away before I recline. Sit back down and leave Sun to deal with my mess while I eat. If you insist. Yes, I insist. I appreciate the effort, though. Really, I do. I smile. He at least seemed genuine about it. It was kind of my fault, but alright. How has your shift been? Woke up, not really expecting him to make small talk. Right now, he's moving on to pick up and putting away the sleeping mats and blankets from earlier. It's been fine. Nothing all that exciting, mainly just said hi to you and the moon, did that maintenance thing, and got a few arcade machines up and working. Oh, fun. Did you happen to see DJ while you were there? Yep, he was making new music on the spot as usual. Actually, speaking of, I have to go back to him when I'm done here. Apparently he had some weird behavior glitch that messes with his security protocol or something, so it's never been activated. Huh. Aren't we all too familiar with behavior bugs? Yep. Hopefully it won't take up the rest of my shift, though. Otherwise, I think we'll have a different problem. No kidding. This man at, mass mayhem. As he's using the guitar as a machete. I'm about to say something else when I hear a ding from my phone. Taking a look at it, I have a message from my coworker, also on shift. Hey, sorry to bother ya. For some reason, the power went out in the arcade. So, do you think you could get that checked out once you're done with your break? Thanks. Oh, great. Maybe I jinxed myself by thinking that plugging in the new game would go smoothly. My thoughts get cut off when I see a sun-shaped shadow casting over the desk. I look up to see Sun himself looking at my phone. What you doing? Nothing. Apparently the power just got knocked out in the arcade, so that's one more thing for me to fix. Oh, darn. Not one day goes by without something breaking in this place. Not a single one. At least you were already heading back up there, right? Yeah. But I don't know if I have enough time to fix that and whatever's going on with DJ. You can't ask someone for help? Or at least tell them you're already busy? I don't want to make it someone else's problem. I shrug. And I don't want to make it someone else's problem. Worse, I'll stay a bit later so I can finish everything. You sure? I know I'm typing up a response from my coworker saying I'll take care of it before putting my phone in my pocket. I stand up and stretch, preparing to say goodbye to Sun before going about the rest of my shift. If I don't see you later today, I at least be seeing you tomorrow when I do that maintenance thing again. Alrighty. Good luck with your work. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Which is everything. Yeah, no promises. I mean it. Me too. Son and I will exchange waves goodbye, and I slowly grin on my face while I leave the daycare for what will probably be the last time tonight. While Son continues cleaning up the daycare alone for the rest of the night. Only to have to do it again tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, forever, or how long this place stays open. I spare one glance back through the glass. Son turned away from me, walking to some other corner of the daycare and disappearing from the sight. Sighing, I make one quick trek to the break room to clock back in. By now, it's about 2:30 a.m. Only a few more hours. As suspected, the arcade is completely dark and dead and silent, an almost unsettling contrast to the bright neon lights and headache-inducing music from just an hour ago. I know there's some levers and breaker in here somewhere. I have to find them if I want to store power to this place. No one's around right now, so I decide to just use my phone flashlight to guide me. Cheap headphones are recommended for this portion. Headphones are recommended for this portion, which makes use of the directional sound. Or we just save and hope for the best. Go left. Immediately bump into a row of arcade cabinets. Alright, wrong way. Okay, go right. I go right, which takes me mostly empty corner dotted with a few arcade machines and an air hockey table. Where to now? Go right. I go right, and it's dead end. Okay, now we're gonna go left. Shoot, sorry, kinda hard to see where I'm going. The bot doesn't even seem to know what I'm said, and as it leaves, alright. I don't really see any levers here anyway. Should probably go back. Go right. I go right, which takes me to mostly empty corner dotted with a few arcade cabinets and a air hockey table. Where to now? Right. I go right, and it's just a dead end. Just a bunch of arcade cabinets with the games I don't recall ever seeing. Something Fox in the Grand Canyon. Who made this? Actually, I don't think I want to know. I go back to where I came. Go forward? I keep going forward. I think I'm going the right way? I don't really know. I still have trouble remembering where things are in here sometimes. There's rows of arcade machines to my left, so that's out. Forward. Crap. Bumped into their scared staff bot. It's looking about as lost as I am. Sorry, bud. Didn't have night vision either. The bot claps its hands and bows slightly. I'm assuming it's mutual understanding. I nod before going back. I think I'm going the right way. Okay, I think we can skip and then go right. I go to the right, closer to the one on one of the walls. Thankfully, I spot a lever between the two arcade cabinets and flip it on. Cool, that's one. If I remember correctly, there's two more levers I have to flip before I can go reset the breaker. Go forward. I go forward towards the left side of the arcade, where I came in. Wait, go right? I try going right this time, only to find another dead end. Okay, yeah, go forward. I go forward towards the left side of the arcade, where I came in. Don't see anything yet, so I keep walking until I see the wall opposite to where I was. Go left. I go left this time, passing by the stairwell, leading to the second floor of the arcade. I should probably head up there at some point. Before now, I don't see another lever on the wall right to my right. Why don't we have all 3 levers in the same place? I don't know. To make it a challenge. I figure it's smarter to not question it for now, and so I flip the switch before I make a U-turn to head upstairs. Just one more lever, and I could go back down and finally get the power back on. Go right. I try going right this time. Just to end up in the corner of the balcony, with a wall of arcade cabinets to my left. Another dead end, lovely. Okay, that's a dead end. Forward. I keep going forward, spying the final lever on the far wall. I pick up the pace just a little, wanting to get this done sooner rather than later. I'm able to flip the switch without any issues, so I retrace my steps back down the stairs. I think we had the breaker moved to be closer to the main stage, so I'm going to try heading there. I know I could hear something nearby, something robotic moving around. Probably just another staff robot. There's usually way more of them roaming around by now. I simply decide to go forward. Figure I'll bump into the stage eventually. It's kind of hard to miss. I eventually see the raised up platform at the edge of my phone flashlight, and I head over to the empty space on my way of it. I glance to my left just for a second, only catching a glimpse of one of the DJ's many large hands. He doesn't seem to be moving though. It's like, I'm gonna be wary of what he's gonna do to us. I try to focus on the task and open the breaker and quickly resetting the power. With one final switch flipped, I can hear something just beyond the wall power on. A strong buzzing erupting from the breaker and noises above me, which I can only describe as mechanical. Power should be turning on about now. One more thing taken care of, only one left. Oh, there was a jump scare? Oh, I think my back hit the wall of one of those game cabinets or something. It hurts. Oops. Moon, you tried to jump scare us. A rope on my shoulder blades, throbbing pain, still shooting from my back. Meanwhile, Moon can only cover his mouth with one hand and laugh at my misery. At the wire holds him a few feet in the air. Oh, my mistake. I didn't think you'd be that startled. Right, it's almost the end of the hour. Makes sense that Moon would be out and about. Well, you now stand corrected. Moon lowers himself to the ground before offering me a hand, which I take as he helps me back up. You owe me one now. You owe me one now. I'm laughing at my own reaction, but I can still feel the pain lingering in my back. What was me helping you back up high enough? No. The power finally starts returning to the arcade, however, not biting by the nighttime sequence for some reason. The lights aren't even completely on yet, but I could still see sun's rays jerking out of Moon's face plates. Why did he do that? Whoa, are you okay? Oh, I'm fine, but I can't believe him. Okay, he's mad. I gotta say, son, calm down. I've had coworkers actually jump scare me before, so, no harm, no foul. Son, calm down. Son, calm down. Wait. Hey, okay, we have to do it. Hey, that looked like it hurt. Hey, that looked like it hurt. He made you get hurt. And for what? Some prank? Son, I had to raise my voice slightly, which I don't enjoy doing. I'm fine. Are you two okay, though? Does it hurt when you do that? Sorry if I'm prying, though just kind of noticed. Son shrugs, one hand grasping his other arm, as a ray seemed to streak back into his head a bit. Normally it doesn't. Just really hurts if one takes over without warning or in the wrong light, love or something. He puts a word hurts in air quotes, which makes sense. That's why it would like hurt. He wasn't made to feel anything. Oh, maybe try not to do that, I guess. I mean, thanks for being concerned, but don't go hurting each other in return, okay? Son lets go of his arm as he strains back up, as if laying out a deep breath. Right. I happened to catch a glimpse of where DJ's stationed. Did this outage do that? I guess it would make sense. He's here all the time, so his power source is probably linked to whoever powered the arcade. Then again, I'm not fully sure how he works, much less how he doesn't trudge through electricity at his massive size. Oh, is he okay? I don't know. Sunray attacks towards the ceiling with the wire. When I look up, he puts a finger on his mouth in a shushing motion. Shh. Probably doesn't want our staff knowing we were simply just standing around, making small talk, or just on so precious company time. Thank God son left when he did. It turns out one of my supervisors wants to see me. Looks like you got the power working. Yeah, the DJ's been shut off though. Yeah, don't worry about him. Probably just went through the hard reboot after his power source was suddenly cut off. It's normal. You were going to check out the bug of his, right? Yep. Just leave it for now. If everything else about him still works, he should be safe mode now. You sure? About 87% sure, yeah. You just make sure he reboots okay and nothing else breaks, and he could be done for the night. Someone should be getting the nighttime sequence here back up and running, too. Don't worry about that either. Alright. My supervisor waves before walking off. Good luck, Wyan. Thanks. As I leave, I make my way to the DJ stage. Thankfully, there's a toolbox just beyond the stage archway, just out of sight from where the audience would be. I pick it up and search around the DJ for some sort of removable panel where I can directly access his systems and make sure he's powered on safely. Eventually, I do find it. I had to pull myself onto his back as if I were climbing a mountain, but it's there. Unscrew and detach the panel, placing it in the toolbox next to me. Something drops onto the stage and I look over to see Moon still on the wire, standing in the cast shadow of the archway. He's only gazing at DJ for a moment. Don't worry about him, getting him powered on right now. Alright. Think it looks like everything's over, so I let him reboot fully. After a minute, the DJ's head tilts from where Moon is standing. It's hard for me to see what his expression is. The ground beneath me begins to shift when DJ props itself on its six large arms, and I have to hold on to him in order to not fall off. Moon just laughs. Can you move all right? I realize what he's doing just as DJ starts backing up. Hey, I'm still here. The DJ suddenly stops before lowering himself on the ground. I quickly replaced the panel. I was back before hopping off. Not trying to fall and break a bone today, no thanks. You weren't going to fall. He thinks this is hilarious. Says the guy that has a massive robot move, knowing I was on his back. I would have caught you if you fell, when you didn't. I roll my eyes, putting the toolbox back where I found it. Well, how about you? His hands rest on the stage, head tilted slightly as he blinks at me. You feeling okay? Feeling okay? He nods. I smile. Good to hear. He appreciates it a lot, you know. I lightly rub the back of my neck. A bit surprised. I just powered him on, but whatever you say. Moon shakes his head, but the smile on his face remains as he and DJ exchange glances. Thankfully, everything seems to be fine, and I'm allowed to leave basically whenever. And pray that nothing else goes wrong after I leave. That should be everything, I think. So, Moon, my supervisor is back. Crap, I guess I'll have to was too distracted to notice. Moon, why aren't you patrolling? You know you don't have all the time in the world, and neither do we. Moon's expression visibly shifts. He stands upright, towering over me and my supervisor. If looks could kill, though. Just ducking around here, that's all. I saw you making small talk. Try to save it for when you're back in daycare and Lion isn't on shift, please. I'm sorry, I'll leave. Or what? His plate tilts slightly. As usual, crap-eating grin grows. My supervisor doesn't seem all that amused, though, as they sigh and keep talking. Talking. He's the robot. The robots could kill. You know that, supervisor. They have. You know what? If someone other than me saw this, they might just erase you from that body completely. Moon smiling, but there's something off about it. There's nothing happy about the face he's wearing. And you don't plan on telling them, right? What? That didn't sound normal. Moon stares down at them. His hand seems oddly tense up as he looks over them. My supervisor is surprisingly unfazed, but they say nothing. Moon, it's fine. Moon, it's fine. Moon's smile shrieks as he glances at me. For a moment, I struggle to find words, but I speak up again. And plus, if you kill someone, you need to find a place to hide the body. We can always hang out in our time when I'm not busy, I glance down at his hands, still tense, before I look back at his face, trying to somehow send him a middle hint to back off, for his own sake. You could always, do whatever you feel like after I leave. Eventually, his expression relaxes as it gives us some space. So, right, the DJ seems to be fine, so you can go home whenever. Have a good night. You too. And be careful. Sleep with one, be careful. Just be careful, supervisor, because I think he's still gonna do something. They leave without another word. DJ, who's been watching this in silence, slowly shifts one massive hand towards Moon and places one hand on top of it. You're doing okay? Moon doesn't respond for a moment, just eventually looks at me with a smile. Yes, of course. And yeah, I'm not doing the voice anymore. I'm not totally convinced, but somehow I shouldn't pry. You should go home, though, so we don't see what happens. But we're already very, very busy here. You still need to get some sleep. Moon, I'm not tired. That's explain the circles on your eyes. Moon points directly at my face. Yes, my sleep schedule still isn't the best, but he doesn't seem to be rubbing in like that. Genetics. Moon raised his eyebrow before laying the cable with Tim off the ground. Right, genetics. Has anyone ever told you you were bad at lying? I'm not so bad. The mischievous grin returns as Moon laughs at my prematurely tired face. I roll my eyes and hop off the stage, making my way to the elevator. I guess I'll see you tomorrow then. Moon trails behind me for a bit. Yes, of course. All right. I take my phone out of my pocket and look at the time. About 3:20 in the morning. The nighttime sequence is ending soon. I guess sooner than I thought, though, as the lights return to the regular fluorescent shades, I turn to see Moon waves at the robotic body, shifts into the sun. Hey, son, has his usual smile, but there's something off about it. Maybe what just happened with Moon upsets him or something. I think they're teaming up on the supervisor's last night alive. Something I forgot, that the two of them can still see through each other's eyes, even if they are not the one currently active. Hello. Oh, I guess goodbye. I shrug. I could probably spare some time, but Moon insisted. Yep, he did. And so do I. They're in cahoots. Sun gently ushers me towards the elevator with one hand. Run along now. About time you get yourself home. I nod, pressing the elevator button, waiting for the door to open, but behind me I hear the usual sound of gears and robotics within Sun and Moon's shared body fade away suddenly. I turn to look, and they're gone. I guess that makes sense. Today's started off fine, but got a bit weird at the end. I haven't really seen Sun or Moon, are you before? Or at least however close I can to get to seeing Artemis, considering only one controls the body at a time. I pursued our yonder first too, and they're gonna the supervisor's definitely not gonna make it. And it's never been about anything too serious, usually just a playful bickering, usually caused by Moon trying to get a rise out of Sun. I don't know if the update changed anything, but hopefully tomorrow is better. No, the update gave them, made them work together for something. I'm about to head into the break room, only for the door to suddenly be pulled away from my hand. Looking up, I see Vanessa, just about to leave. She was also wearing one of those black cloth medical masks. Oh, hey. I say, we're both equally surprised. How have you been? I back away from the door just to get out of her way and give her some space. I haven't seen you around much, and some of the others started wondering if you're okay, so... I'm fine. Vanessa quickly walks past me, almost speed-walking to the other side of the lobby as she coughs into her arm. Alright, weird. I wanted to at least know how she's doing, but I guess she has better things to do. And she's still sick? I let out a tired sigh as I entered the break room, using my ID to clock out before doubly checking to make sure I still have my phone, keys, and wallet on me. Thankfully I do, so I go to leave the pizza plex for the night. Tomorrow's another day to be continued in night too. Thanks for playing. And host FNAF Daybreak. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, rate, comment down, and liking the video. See you guys next time.